The entire history of the Mongol Empire. The entire history of the Mongol Empire in 100 seconds. Genghis Khan was born into a small tribe in Mongolia around 1160. His empire would eventually stretch from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. But before he could conquer the world, he had to conquer his enemies, starting with the Taijute clan. After defeating them, he united many small tribes under his banner and declared himself the Great Khan of the Mongols in 1206. His empire was built on military might, but it was also a meritocracy. Advancement was based on ability, not social class. This attracted many talented people, including Yabai, a former slave who became one of the most powerful women in history. She led the Mongol army while Genghis campaigned, expanding the empire from Mongolia to northern China. After Genghis died in 1227, his son Ogedei continued the conquest of China and the rest of Asia. But the European crusades into the Middle East were a bit more complicated. The Mongols were fighting against the Ayyubid dynasty, led by Saladin, a legendary warrior and statesman. Despite their best efforts, the Mongols couldn't defeat Saladin's forces. And after a decade of fighting, they simply gave up and went home. Ogedei's son, Guyuk, finished the conquest of northern China and turned the empire into a true superpower. His army was 100,000 strong and stretched over 6,000 miles from east to west. But the lack of a strong central government meant that the empire was constantly on the verge of collapse. In 1260, Guyuk's grandson, Kublai Khan, seized power and moved the capital to Beijing. He conquered all of China and founded the Yuan dynasty. At its peak, the Mongol Empire encompassed 90% of the world's population and 24 million square miles, making it the largest contiguous land empire in history. Kublai's empire was more diverse than Genghis's army. It included Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and everyone in between. But as the empire grew, so did the bureaucracy. And by the 1330s, the government was so corrupt that Kublai's successors couldn't even keep the empire together. By the end of the 14th century, the Mongol rulers were nothing more than puppets in a Chinese play. And the once mighty Mongol Empire was reduced to a collection of fragmented states. The end.